way. Is it easier? Does it make you feel safe? Welcome back. Podcast Now. Podcast about three dudes. At this point, we're basically just reviewing things. Today we're going to review our crippling depression.
And low self-esteem.
And low self-esteems. So we're ready for this. Once again, as always, got Chris.
Hello.
We got George.
What up?
Got myself. Got our crippling depression. And today, I feel like George is going to be the excited one, actually.
I am.
He is. He's just
very
like
excited.
a Christmas tree.
Yeah. This is like a Christmas in July and September for George. We are going to review the new Queens of the Stone Age album, Villains.
And it's a villain.
And it's a villain? Oh, not villains?
No, it's a villain. It's because it's horrible.
Oh, wow. Damn. Oh, George, please give us some insight into Queens.
I'm a huge Queens of Stone Age fan, and I've listened to their stuff since, I think,
Rated R?
2002. No, 2002 is when I really got listening to them, which album it was... Songs for the Deaf, and from there I stemmed to like, oh, maybe I should check out their other shit. So I think I went and bought Rated R after that, and then that was about the time where I like, oh, I can steal albums, so I just downloaded them for free online. That's when I downloaded
Did you use LimeWire or Kazaa?
I don't know what I used back then, but I got Queens of the Stone Age's self-titled and really dug that. And then I think, was it Lullabies to Paralyze? Download that. I actually went out and bought Era Vulgaris at Best Buy on CD.
I remember that. That was cute.
I got that. I really enjoyed that album. And then they kind of disappeared and came back out of nowhere with Like Clockwork, which was a fucking amazing album. And they're back 4 years later with Villains. So let's talk about it.
Let's do it. What'd you guys think of the album?
I hated it.
Oh my goodness.
Actually, that's not true.
We're starting great.
I'm gonna start. No, I'm gonna start off.
I love the positivity in this album.
And
in this episode.
Well, he's not.
I'm not okay.
He's not an avid Queens
in
listener.
full disclosure, he's right. I heard.
There's nothing disclosing here. It's out there.
It's just I listen to their singles. I had started listening to Villains. I like a few of their songs. It is more dancey than their other songs, but I did go back and listen to like Clockwork. I like that one, and Songs for Deaf. I went back to Google Play, and I just listened to like the top most played 15 songs, and they're good. He's not bad. This album.
Who's he?
Joshua
Homme, whom we've talked about before. If you want to check out that episode, please go ahead and watch it. Come back, and then we'll see if that changes actually your opinion on this album.
And this is the first album I'm actually started like watching videos of him explaining stuff, and because we were at West Kush for George's B-Day, and we started talking about him and his girlfriend started talking about Villains and how a song I like called Fortress is about him dedicating the song to his family when he's not here. He wants his music to live on. And just have that for his kids. And the more I watch the guy talk, how he handles himself, the more I am not a fan of Joshua Homme's.
Okay, so you have this bias then.
Kind of like he thinks, and I did talk to George about this the other day. Like he seems like the person that doesn't care about his fans. George says that's on the contrary, but because he talks about he's like, I don't care about you, and he goes, I know that's bad to say in one of the interviews. He's like, I don't care about you.
That's Jesselnick. Jesselnick's like, I fucking hate you fans. I've never heard Joshua Homme say that to his fans.
I'll pull up the interview for you.
Well, I think Jesselnick's saying it in the sense of a joke. I don't think he's not as serious, but
Joshua Homme's not that serious either. If you look at it.
He was pretty serious when he didn't want to take a picture.
Seriously, yeah. You weren't a woman dying of cancer, so he couldn't take a picture with you. But no, there are some good songs. Don't get me wrong. I like Feet Don't Family Now, Fortress. Basically, singles, and that's it. To be honest.
All right, what was your favorite song?
I like the whole album.
You gotta give me favorites, man. You can't just tell me the
intro,
whole thing.
And what you notice right away if you listen to Queens of Stone Age is the use of the synthesizers in the album, throughout the album, especially on the beginning of the intro track to Feet Don't Fail Me Now, how it builds up. like you're going into a weird, crazy, drunken orgy haunted house.
Okay, I like this. I like this analogy.
And then it just kicks in, and I think it's also in a few other tracks. I think they use it in at least 3 or 4 songs, but you notice it a lot because they've never actually gone to the use of a synthesizer. And I know Josh Homme, one of his favorite albums of 2010 was Metronome's The English Riviera, and that band uses the synthesizer, and it's a really awesome album. I suggest you guys look it up, listen to it.
I'm definitely gonna look this up.
But that's where Joshua Homme was just like, oh shit, these synthesizers are fucking dope. I'm probably going to want to use these in an upcoming album. So then Like Clockwork came out in 2013. That wasn't the album he wanted to dive into the use of synthesizers. And I'm pretty sure he asked the bandmates of Metronome if they could produce Villains. And they politely turned him down.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, and instead, I don't know how the hell... I'm pretty sure him and Mark Ronson met through Lady Gaga's record, because I know that he produced a lot of songs on Lady Gaga's record.
Joshua did?
No,
or Mark?
Mark Ronson.
Mark Ronson did. Met through Lady Gaga.
And I know Joshua Homme did some guitar work in Lady Gaga's album as well. And her latest album, I don't even know what it's called, because I don't really listen to Lady Gaga like that, but...
yeah, I know. What? So do you listen to it like this or like that? Or like
no, I don't know.
You're not a Lady Gaga fan.
Not a Lady Gaga fan.
Okay.
Maybe if
I mean, Joshua did the guitars. I'm surprised you weren't just like, I want to just listen to Joshua solo and that's it.
No.
Okay.
If anyone tries to convince me or tell me an album to listen to from Lady Gaga, I would definitely check it out. But
I like the Fame.
Fame?
No, I don't think it's called The Fame. Actually, I think it is.
I think it's called Fame.
It's called Fame. Her debut album.
Yeah,
I actually didn't mind it. I liked it.
That was good.
It was good. The one with Poker Face, and I can't think of any of the other singles. Oh, no, Alejandro's on the second album of hers, which... Great song about a dude named Alejandro. All right. But yeah, I would suggest, if you're going to listen to Lady Gaga, listen to her first album. I don't know about Joanne. I haven't heard it yet. That's the latest
anyways,
one.
back to Queens.
Oh, shit. My bad.
Didn't mean like that.
We had enough of this Lady Gaga talk.
No, I respect Lady Gaga. But not my forte in like, oh, I'm going to fucking put this on and just dance down the highway stuck in traffic.
But this is Villains. This is
Villains.
This is a dance track. You should be able to get out of your car and dance down the highway with that logic.
With Lady Gaga?
No, with Queens of Stone
Queens, I do feel like doing that.
Yeah,
like
exactly my point.
So it's a dancey album.
It is a dancey album, and the robot rock style of Domesticated Animals is fucking... I thought that's the best track on the album. At first I really liked Head Like a Haunted House because it's a really fast, upbeat, punk style record. And then after listening to the album a few more times, no, Domesticated Animals is freaking genius. The whole beginning and the whole ending, the screaming track from, I think, who provides the screaming track? Mikey Shoemaker, bassist. He screams at the end of that song.
He talks about that in one of the interviews. He goes, I can't scream, but he goes, Mikey can.
Yeah.
Well, and he's the one who screams in the first track in Songs for the Deaf, right?
No.
Oh.
They've gone through band members. He got, actually, that's Nick Oliveri.
Okay.
He got kicked out because he was a domestic violence with his wife or girlfriend at the time. And Josh is like, you know what?
Oh, Josh is a very strong respect women kind of guy, but not respect men.
But he actually kicked him out of the band because he's like, that shit doesn't fly with us. Like, we don't need this bad publicity. You're out. He got nixed.
Yeah, understandable.
So he hasn't been with the band since like 2003.
That just shows you how
2004
disconnected I am with Joshua.
And then Mikey Shoemaker, I think he stepped in since after Lullabies to Paralyze. I think at Aero Vulgaris is when he stepped in the bass for bassist. And they also have a new drummer since Like Clockwork, John Theodore, who used to drum for the Mars Volta. And if you ever check out the Mars Volta, that's probably like some of the most insane drumming that you could possibly figure out or think of. But anyways, I really like Fortress. It's something that you never see Joshua's Homme side, talking about his family, talking about there's safety when if I ever do go, you have me in your
Yeah, you have
in your heart.
You have
it's a heartfelt song.
Yeah, you have
it's one of the most heartfelt Queens of Stone Age songs, which I did not expect.
You have all my royalties when I die. I get that.
But I did like that as like a tribute. He's all, I am here for right now, and there are going to be good times in your life, and there's going to be bad times. And one of the bad times is I might not be here. And he goes, hopefully you listened in, like when he said the interview, I did like that. He goes, there are good times and bad times, and I'm not always going to be here for my children. I might die tomorrow. And he goes, what they have is my music. And I want them to remember that even though I'm not there, I'm looking out for them.
Yeah, I really hope he doesn't overdose on something stupid.
Would you think that's what this is entailing? Like
No.
He's like, hey,
no,
man,
but I know he does.
This dope heroin, I'll see you maybe.
No, he doesn't do heroin. But I know he...
How drunk do you think he does that? He's going to OD on that.
I don't fucking know. You never know these...
Yeah, you never know, man.
You never know behind
He could be addicted on sleeping pills or some shit. Whatever happened to Michael Jackson could happen to him.
I know he drinks a lot, and he's always drinking at shows. But...
Hey, whom isn't drinking at shows, right?
Seriously.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, Fortress surprised me, and it came out of nowhere. When I was first listening to the album, I was like, I didn't like it at first, but then I was like, oh shit, and then I realized who the fuck he's talking about and who he's singing about.
It's a dedication song.
Yeah, it's a dedication to his wife, Brody Dahl, and I think he has like 2 or 3 children. But his children listen to One Direction, which is understandable.
Yeah. Because they make as good as music as Joshua Homme makes, so I understand that.
But the album is really freaking...
It's top notch for you.
Not my favorite album from them,
okay.
but that shows the discography in Queens that I personally don't think they have a bad album out, that it's unlistenable. This is very listenable. I really enjoyed it. And
very dancey.
Very dancey, and I've been playing it since it came out on 25th, or since I got the vinyl 2 days early.
Ooh, look at that. Getting it 2 days before the general public.
2 days before the public.
He has not turned off his record. He just lets the record play. Once it stops at, where the dead space is on the record, he just pulls the needle back to the beginning.
But yeah, Villains of Circumstance is a great closer, I thought. Very like Clockwork feel if you listen to that album.
I feel like
looks like a cut from
Villains of Circumstance. For me, I feel like Joshua is singing at a high school prom. Like the way his style of singing in that song specifically, it definitely sounds like an Ender, but I don't know, it just reminds me of some kind of like 50s prom night or something. I don't know. I couldn't get into it, but it's still a good song.
And what is the third song on the record? I think that's
Domesticated Animals, which I was iffy about.
That's my favorite.
I feel like it's very political and supposed to be catchy at the same time, right?
But they don't.
I don't know
about political.
I know, but it feels like, especially like revolution, blah blah blah. Like,
oh yeah,
I like the robot rock shit.
But I do like the I like the da da blah blah. Like he just like has like this like tempo at which he's singing.
This album really reminds me of David Bowie in a lot of sense of the melodies, and a lot of songs sound like it could like enter David Bowie's like dark side, even more so.
Dark! We're talking dark now. I like this.
But
you like this, Chris? You like the darkness?
I'm pretty sure this influence for this album had a lot to do with Iggy Pop's touring for that record that Joshua Homme did with Iggy Pop, post-pop depression. These guys, I know Joshua Homme idolizes Iggy Pop, and they probably talked like constantly throughout that whole tour, breakfast, lunch, dinner. They probably even fucking slept together.
Aww.
But yeah, you can tell a lot of his influence are brought up from Iggy and Bowie on this record, which I thought it was a lot of fun. It's a really fun record for me, and I'm definitely gonna listen to it.
No,
probably.
you're not definitely.
I forgot about
you already are listening.
No, but I totally forgot about Brand New. Like after I got this album, I was just like, okay, I don't want to be like moping around and depressed with Brand New. So Villains is
so it's a feel good album.
It's a feel good album.
Yeah,
it's a lot of fun.
I get that,
and I cannot wait to see them live. I really want to see these songs live because that's where they shine most. Is in their live albums.
I did tell you.
I mean, live shows.
We do get to see them. If you do go see them,
and they've never ever charged $100 a ticket. It's always
no. They just cancel shows because
Well, that's all Ticketmaster's fault. Live Nation. Let's not go back to that again.
Yeah, let's
listen to the previous podcast.
previous episode, we talk about this. We don't want to get into the Ticketmaster prices right now.
But I think every show I've ever been to has been like around $60 or less, which is why I think they've stayed pretty relevant in their 20-year career history since 1998.
Ticket prices?
Well,
I think it's definitely Joshua's style. What brings the band.
brings in new fans.
It
cheap ticket prices are gonna bring new fans.
I mean,
look at 9 Inch Nails. 9 Inch Nails, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure they probably charge like $150, $200.
No, they don't.
For their premium tickets. They
actually don't. The Trent Reznor tries to do it the best, but there are things like he does like safeguards.
I think I've tried buying his tickets, and they're really expensive.
And you have to like
more than. But then again, his
true fan. They've
been out since the early '90s.
Yeah, but he has like Trent Reznor. He tries to do it for his true fans and like hardcore fans.
But
are his hardcore fans poor? Is that why he's doing it like that?
No, 9 Inch Nails has been around, but like.
Oh no, I know who Nin is.
I know. But I'm just saying, like they have like a cult following.
They do have a cult following,
like Brand New and I would say
Queens. We like a lot of cultish music here.
But Villains would bring in, like to George's point, I think Villains is reaching out to a whole new audience.
I think that started with like Clockwork.
Yeah,
actually, because that was like
but this one's more like
but if you categorize Queens,
Mark Bronson is known for more catchy songs, for like working with Bruno Mars.
I think the Like Clockwork album is the new era of Queens, like a sort of like a new life to the band, new spark,
a new sound.
So a reboot.
Well, with Like Clockwork was definitely a new sound, new direction for the band. It was a really dark album, and I thought it was one of my favorite albums of 2013, most definitely. Probably one of my favorite albums in the last 5 years.
Okay.
And Villains kind of like takes elements of their whole discography, even from their side project bands like them Crooked Vultures and Eagles of Death Metal, because the Evil Has Landed has a very good guitar riff that could be in them Crooked Vultures album.
Yeah,
like very similar. And then the ending of the Evil Has Landed breaks down, and that also sounds like it could be a song.
Real quick, I have in my notes for the Evil Has Landed, I put good guitars. Very rocker. So I agree with you on that.
No, Queens of Sound of Joshua Homme's always thrived in guitar.
There's no doubt. He has a signature sound.
Sick.
Yeah, his signature riffs I like.
But yeah, the Evil Has Landed sounds like the ending sounds like Eagles of Death Metal, and you get a very like strong similar taste of Era Vulgaris sprinkled throughout the whole album too, and then even their first album. So I think it's like a compilation of their entire discography, like sprinkled out here and there, which makes it for me not my favorite album in their discography. Which doesn't mean it's a bad album, but it's definitely not my favorite album that they've released.
But it's a good album.
No, it's definitely
to come out from them.
What I would give it is a 7.5, 8.
Okay.
But that also means like all their albums fall right in line with these. My favorite is probably Like Clockwork. Followed by Songs for the Deaf. It used to be Songs for the Deaf for the longest, and then when Like Clockwork came out and I started listening to that, I fell in love with that album really hard, and now that's like at the top of my list.
I think Like Clockwork is their most critically acclaimed one too, right?
No, it's actually Songs for the Deaf.
Songs for the Deaf? Okay. Well, there you go. Chris, tell us.
Recently, it's Like Clockwork. That's why I'm saying that.
Okay.
It's this Like Clockwork album has been like the new era of Queens, so to speak. New members, new everything, new drummer, everything.
Chris, tell us why you don't like it.
I do. Oh, I don't.
Tell us why you started so negatively on this episode.
Alright, well, to be honest, it's just, I do like their singles, but like...
I have to ask you before you even say anything.
What's up?
Is it just because you don't like happy music?
No, I like it. I really like Love Me Like You Used To.
Okay. Just put it out there.
I like Fortress. I like Fortress, Love Me Like You Used To, The Evil Has Landed. All their single... that's the other point I'm going to make. There's a reason those are singles, because those are the catchiest ones.
I think that's any single.
Yeah, but that's like...
Unless it's Hey Jude, I guess, but...
Hey Jude... Sorry. You have... Like I said, I'm not like a hardcore listener.
Okay.
I really got into this album because to the lead up, they were really pushing hard for this album. like everything I would see would be Queens of the Stone Age, his new album Villain. And then I watched a couple of things about him, his YouTube. The more like I dove into, this is actually like the first one I actually like watched back, like interviews with him, with Queens, or actually gave a crap to learn about him. And yeah, that was a mistake. Cause to be honest, it turned me more off to him. Like I said, I think he's a very talented man, and I think his music is amazing. But like the way he talks in interviews, or the way like he just doesn't seem like he gives a shit about his fans. Like he's
if that was the case, then he probably wouldn't be doing any interviews in the first place. Like let's say Brand New previously, who doesn't do any kind of interviews for anything or any magazine because he hates his fans.
You don't know, because you can hate your fans, but you know that's where your money is. What? Like you said, I think Jesselyn, he insulted the crowd, but people were there to see him.
They were there to see him insult.
See him insult, to see like, oh, we know he don't like him. He's like, oh, I really don't like. Yeah, I don't care. Like I've known, and to the interviewers, like most of them that I have seen, that I do watch him with, he goes back with them. He's like, oh, I've known you for a while. It's never like, oh, you're some new interviewer. No, you can go piss off. I want somebody that I know.
You bring up a good point. You guys ever seen who's that fucking quirky interviewer from Canada? Nardwar. Check out Josh Ohami's interview. It's a really old interview. He looks drunk as fuck, but he's a total dick to Nardwar. But that's just the kind of guy he is.
A dick?
So he's a dick.
Okay. I can respect that.
He doesn't mean he's gonna be like all smiles for the camera and be like, oh yeah.
No, I respect, like I said, like I respect that who you are. Be true to who you are, and he's very true. He's very true to himself. But how that transcends to a fan like you, like I'd be kind of insulted. Be like, you're my role model. And
I think he's accepted Joshua for whom he is. And I think it's when you find out you have shitty parents and you're like, well, you're like, that's just how they are, man. You can't fix someone that's like that old, right?
Yeah. Well, like I said, I've been seeing his shit since forever, so I know the type of dude.
Yeah, he is. You grew up with him.
If you throw something on stage, he's gonna call you out. He's gonna call you a name. You don't throw shit on stage.
What if they were throwing like a burrito because he's hungry? Was he gonna call him an asshole? But that's
the music you're in, though. You were in punk rock.
He's not a punk.
No, but that's like what he's in rock and roll. That's what you do. That's what he's just known for being an asshole.
No, he jokes a lot. Like to bring back that you throw something on stage, he'll say something in reply saying, "Hey, don't do that because I'll take you outside and fuck you." That's the type of shit he says.
What the hell?
That's the type of shit he says. He'll call you a fucking omelette du fromage, which is a fucking cheese omelet.
Yeah.
He'll call you insulting, but he says it in a joking manner, which obviously you didn't catch it because it went over your head again.
Damn.
Or maybe you're too blinded to see what it truly is.
Maybe it's a little.
It's like you're stuck in a domestic violence situation because he could beat you, but he'd be like, "I know he still loves me." I'm like,
wow. I don't even get it like that, but okay.
You still haven't given me a good reason why you don't like it. You've given me reasons why you don't like Joshua.
Yeah. Oh no, I just don't like it. I think it starts off strong and then dwindles.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
I think it has a very promising start from Feed Don't Fail Me Now, then transitions into Love Me Like You Used To, and then Head Like a Haunted House, I think.
Yeah. Domesticated Animals.
Oh, Domesticated Animals. And that's for me is where it starts dropping off. Okay. And then it picks up for Fortress again. Like there's another song before Fortress, and then it just doesn't do it for me.
George, do you know what synths are used in this album? I was trying to look that up. I couldn't find it.
No, I don't know.
Yeah, I was trying to figure that out because that's what I did. Like, I mean, I dropped off listening Queens, I think, after Lullabies to Paralyze or Era Vulgaris. I was like, this is a fucking snooze fest. I didn't catch up on like Clockwork. I hear it's good, right?
But I did find it interesting.
But I did like Songs for the Deaf. That for me, I was like, yeah, I can get with this shit. So when I came back to this album, I was like you said, like all the singles coming up to this album, I was like, this is a good album. And I think George was avoiding the singles, right?
Yeah.
He was like, I'm not listening to anything until I get my vinyl. No. But I like them. I like Feet Don't Fail Me Now. The one thing I do not like in that's whole, I don't remember it being in the beginning or when it was a single, but I just don't like how it struggles to get to where the song actually begins, because you have a minute 47 of like of the build-up, but
the
it's
drumming's
such
on point, though.
It is, but I think it's so weak. Like, I don't think there's ever a reason to fade in a song. Just start it. Or how I would have liked it is there's a break in the song where the guitar starts like playing like I think like it's 3 chords, and I would have liked that to have been the beginning with the synthesizer used to build up, and then you start with the guitar, and then you start. I don't know if it's Joshua. Obviously, it's Joshua and the drums playing. That's when you started, and that's when the lyrics kicked in. Which, by the way, George, did you love it when he says like the needle dropped?
Yes.
Did you get goosebumps?
Yes. Well,
did it give you a little orgasm?
That's a song bloating about Joshua Homme.
Yeah.
Which he never really does mention himself in the first person, but that song is about him being born in the desert in 77 or wherever.
Oh, I got that part.
But yeah, it's he likes dancing. What you can tell. The man likes dancing.
And I do like the synth in there. It's very it sounds very 80s.
Yes. I got a huge 80s vibe from the album.
And I like the spaciness of that, like that instrument being used. So I like everything. After a minute 47, that when the song actually kicks in and gets loud, I like. Other songs that I liked were Fortress. That's my favorite track. I think, like George, initially I was like, it's a lull, but you gotta. This is like one of those actual songs you have to listen to the lyrics, which is hard in 2017. There's no point in listening to lyrics anymore. But these lyrics, I was like, that's sweet, right? If anything, it makes me want to like make a song like this, but for my pig or something like that. Like, you know, if I die, you got a corpse to eat away at, or something like that. You know, something meaningful. And then from that, I think the only other tracks that not that the album's bad. I like my favorite thing. It's a short album.
Yeah, that too.
But it's a double-edged sword because for as short as it is, you're just more susceptible to bad tracks, right? But my favorites, I mean, aside from that, the way they used to I like because I feel like it has classic Josh like riffs into it. Same thing with Evil Has Landed. Had like a haunted house I thought was cool, but it was like a throwaway for me. I know it's your favorite track, but for me,
mine was Domestic.
Oh yeah,
Head Like a House Head Like a Haunted House is up there too, though.
Yeah, so
but it has a very punk vibe to it.
But what other track did I? Oh yeah, in Fortress, his vocals are backed up, I think, by a keyboard or something like that. That makes it kind of sound spacey or like haunted. I like that though. I don't know if you guys caught that, but listen to it again, maybe you'll catch it. But I like it. But and yeah, I like the introduction of obviously not traditional rock instruments in this, and I think that has to do probably more with like Mark Ronson and the people that Joshua was like touring with, working with, that he was like, hey, you know what, why don't we spice it up a little bit, you know?
That's why I think this like felt like more like an experimental kind of like album.
I don't feel like it's experimental.
Like, let's try something.
I get what you're trying to get at, but I feel like experimental is like when you don't, because all these songs basically have your usual structure, right? Like you have your lead, your chorus, and so on and so forth. You know, with a couple of breakdowns and a couple of sick guitar solos. But I would say this is an enjoyable album for me. I liked it. I think I liked it more initially than when I started listening to it over and over again. But that might have just been me being like, you know what, I'm kind of a little fatigued about this. But, you know, it's short. So you can't really like be like, hey man, not my album.
I think I felt it because it was too short.
Really?
When I first played it and it ended,
you were like, oh, come on.
I was like, that's it? I was like, no fucking way, that's it. And especially on the vinyl, the fourth side of the second disc is blank. It has a cool etching on the back. But it was blank. I was just like, that's it.
Did you etch anything?
It's a lot, like really short.
Did you etch anything into it?
No, it's etched by the artist who did the artwork for the album, and
Who was that? I think
Boneface.
it's Boneface. I like the album work on that one.
I like
It's
the
really
album,
sick.
Yeah. Do you? Is there like a?
You get a lot of goodies. You get a sheet for each song with his artwork print.
Nice.
So each 9 songs has 9 artworks, and then each of the band members have their own artwork. So kind of like a trading card, so to speak. But
This is cool. I like this.
It's drawn in his artwork. It's really cool. All the goodies were dope. Even like Clockwork's artwork. It comes with a book, and that's probably my favorite artwork from the Queen's.
That's the one with like the Dracula dude, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it from Boneface too?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
good relationship with the Boneface.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which I think.
Did he do Era Vulgaris's?
No, I don't know who did Aero Vulgaris.
I like to think of Era Vulgaris because it is a cracked light bulb or something, right?
Yes, meth.
Yeah.
Is he smoking meth?
Is it a meth pipe?
No,
I don't know. I like to think of it as Bolby and the Adventures of. Because there's something else. There's
Bolby,
another
there's
character.
a matchbook.
Yeah.
There's a knife. There's a I forget what else, but there's tons of characters. But yeah, it's Villains has a very like similar artwork, but it's more rated.
But yeah,
R.
I like though. It's like it's definitely Josh in the album, or like as the artwork with the devil like covering his eyes, but
that's the devil on his back.
Devil on his back, but
literally and metaphorically speaking, in a sense, that he's traveling with these fucking villains.
Yeah, see, that's the title. That's the point. It's all coming full circle for Joshua right now.
I enjoyed the album a lot, and I to me, Queens can't do any wrong.
No,
that's
they
how
can't.
that's a huge of a fan I am. I can't wait to go see him live.
We all can't wait because we're definitely gonna hear about it from you.
I'll actually go if you see him live. I like to see him live, to be honest.
They put on a hell of a show.
Because sometimes
another thing I had to say
go ahead.
about the album, it made number 4 on the top 200 albums.
The initial week?
Number 4, yeah. Because streaming numbers for, I don't even know how the fuck to say his name. XXXTentacion?
XXXTentacion?
Tentacion?
Yeah,
is that how you say his name?
That's how I say
him
it.
And
if you want to sound sophisticated, you say it like that.
Him and who was the other drill or rapper that had an album out last week? It was him and Lil Uzi?
Lil Uzi Vert, yeah.
Was it him?
Love is Rage 2. Review not coming out.
Both those were on top of, I think 1 and 2, respectively. And Queens had the number 4 record in the world, or I mean in the US.
Yeah.
But around the world, in the UK, Germany, New Zealand, Australia, whatever, number 1 record.
Number 1. So you're saying then is that America's plagued by mumble rappers right now, that they can't see the quality in the Queen's album.
Well, I'm just gonna say that Queens will headline festivals out in Europe in the top. In the US, you won't see them in the top.
Why is that?
Because Americans or millennials or whoever goes to these
You're
festivals...
blaming millennials now.
No, I'm not blaming millennials, but that's not the music that everyone is into in the US.
Yeah. We all listen
Everyone
to Lil
likes
Uzi
Calvin
Vert.
Harris, who are the top
Lil
DJs.
Uzi Vert.
Rap and production DJs are what people go out to go see.
No, people's
At
21
festivals.
Pilots. What about 21 Pilots, man?
In Utah?
In Utah, yeah. Okay. You think Calvin Harris is selling out at Utah Fest? I don't think so. Okay.
No, I'm talking about Coachella. Coachella's the biggest festival in the U.S.
Beyonce's headlining.
Oh yeah.
So it's like alternative R&B, mumble rap, and EDM is what's
that when like Clockwork came out, they didn't headline Coachella. They were like 2nd tier, 3rd tier, whatever.
Yeah.
In all the European festivals, they're at the top of the billing chart, and all the European festivals are huge, especially Reading in Leeds and Glastonbury. And I know they blew the lid off those tours or those festivals in 2013, 2014. I think it's 14. But yeah, they do extensive touring in Europe, in every country out there, and Brazil. They're really big in Brazil. They're really big in Japan. So yeah, Queens has a huge following throughout the whole world. US,
they're just not appreciated in America.
I wouldn't say that.
Well, I would say that maybe but the mainstream doesn't.
They do work with a lot of new bands, so that brings obviously new life into their band. Like they have Royal Blood opening for them in the US this whole tour.
Okay.
And that's a fairly new band, probably like 2-3 years old. So their fans probably buy the tickets to go see Royal Blood. and they get to see Queens, and then, oh shit, they're really fucking awesome live. And then that's how they become fans, you know?
Yeah, because one time I think you waited like 9 hours to see Queens, right?
Was it 9 hours? I got there around 12:30.
Yeah, you got there at 12:30. What time did the show start?
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock. Goddamn 8 hours waiting for Queens. That's crazy.
That was the Halloween. No, that was the Halloween show. Oh. The Bill Burr one, I got there like around 3 o'clock, and I got a really good seat, or really good standing, small venue. But yeah, really would like to see him headlining Glastonbury.
Oh, you're trying to go to Glastonbury?
I want to, at least once.
All right, well, we can do it. We can make a podcast out there. How's that? We can podcast live at Glastonbury.
Which...
Maybe Chris won't come. I don't know. You hate crowds, right, Chris? Yeah. He'll be in a bubble, but we'll be good.
Which Arctic Monkeys, Queens of Stone Age, will probably headline there next year. Hopefully, if Arctic Monkeys drop something. So...
We'll see.
Their shows are nuts.
I've never seen Arctic Monkeys live, at least.
I screwed up seeing them before they blew up, and I regret that.
Why?
I didn't know who they were, and it wasn't... George had invited me to go see them at the Majestic in Ventura.
Okay.
And he was like, dude, someone didn't get their ticket, you're off by this time, I'm gonna leave, you can come with me. And I was like, no, I don't know who they are, blah, blah, blah. Stupidest life choice I've ever made. And we went out to lunch like a few weeks later, right before AM dropped, and they played a song, Do You Want to Know? And it was the acoustic version set of the song.
Yeah.
And I was like, who is this? And George is like, this is Arctic Monkeys, the guys I wanted you to come see. And they world premiered this at that concert. And I was like, wow, that's a bummer. So I'm pretty bummed.
So the moral of the story is just go whatever concert George tells you at.
No, like moral of concert, if somebody invites you to a concert, and I do believe this because like I'm going to more concerts now. If somebody invites you to a concert, go, because it may, despite whether you might discover something you like or you might not. But
all right, well maybe we'll get George to go to a Lady Gaga concert then, so you can see what's the hype about.
He's trying to. Never mind. We'll save this for another podcast. But sorry. He's I wanted him to go see Circus Survive with me in Thrice, but I think he'd be bored.
Oh no! We can't. You can't just throw George into a spicy situation, man. You gotta give him a mild taste.
Yeah, I didn't
first.
agree to that.
Yes, you did.
You bought 3 tickets. Last thing I remember was you invited Anna and Alex.
Yeah.
And those are the tickets. 3 tickets.
You and you don't remember agreeing.
Who's gonna drive if it's not you? Think about that.
True, but no, more to come on that. So
cool. So any last words, George? You've spoken so much in this episode. I am so proud of you. Honestly, I hope you keep this up for future episodes.
Okay.
Just okay. That's how he's gonna end it, people.
Okay.
Chris?
Beat the kids to the punch.
Yes.
Was that the line of the song? Domesticated animals.
Oh man, I can't remember right now.
Oh, beat the kids. And then to the punch. You have a nice heart. I'll have it for lunch.
There you go. Chris, last words?
Yeah. I didn't like the album, but you should go and listen to it for yourself, make your own opinions, and comment below and tell us what you thought of it.
Yes, let us know in the comment section if you liked it. Like I said, this is a good album for me. I'm going to say that it's a dancey one. It's kind of a little movie. Got groove to it. And if you like Joshua Homme just as much as George does, which you don't, definitely give it a listen. Follow us on, what is it? Instagram, Twitter. I can't believe we suck at social media, but those I think are the only two.
At Podcast Now, and we also have a Gmail, apodcastnow1@gmail.com. Email us, tell us what you thought of this episode, what you thought of villains, future subjects you'd like to hear us discuss, or your thoughts on us, and maybe we'll read them. And
there's no maybe, we'll
read them for sure, and then we'll address some of your things. Maybe also, if you do email us, tell us what you would like us to improve on, or
yes, please give us critiques,
because we do need that.
Yeah, we're just gonna keep making these terrible episodes if you guys don't give us some feedback, man. All right. Anyways, I'd like to give a shout out to our sponsor for this episode, Lard Lad Donuts. Whenever you need a quick breakfast, lunch, or just want to treat yourself, Lard Lad is your place. Try their new double maple lard dip donut. Guaranteed 5 strips of bacon on each donut. Once again, that's Lard Lad Donuts. Lard Lad. We are as round as our customers. And that's it. So thank you once again. And as always, it's been a podcast now.
Bye.